Hi, this is Richard Bliss here with Crowdfunding Beat. We're here in Berkeley at the Crowdfunding Symposium as academics from all over the world have come together to talk about the crowdfunding landscape and how it impacts the world. And I have with me Sherwood Neiss. Did I get it right? All right. Sherwood, thanks for taking just a few minutes. Sherwood, you are the principal with Crowdfund Capital Advisors, right?
Correct. Yes, I am.
Tell us a little bit about what Crowdfund Capital Advisors does.
Well, Jason Best and I are two of the principals at Crowdfund Capital Advisors. We are the two entrepreneurs that helped craft the framework that was used in the legislation that was signed into the law by President Obama to legalize essentially debt and equity crowdfunding. So afterwards, we incorporated Crowdfund Capital Advisors to work with organizations, governments, multilateral organizations like the World Bank to help them understand how they can use crowdfunding to help get access to capital to entrepreneurs globally.
So here we are, we're in the fall of 2013. That legislation was passed when?
April 5th, 2012.
So what's going on other than the fact that we're aware that there was a shutdown of the government, which had probably nothing to do with the delay? What's happening? Why aren't we seeing such rapid adoption of such what appears to be on the surface such a great idea?
Well, you know, things in Washington don't happen overnight. The SEC was given 270 days. They do not have to live to any timeline set by Congress. There's no mandate in legislation that they must. It is guideline. We had a chairwoman that was not in favor of crowdfunding to begin with, so we weren't expecting the rules to come out before the beginning of the year. We thought there was an opportunity with the interim chair. That did not happen, and of course with Mary Jo White coming in, we had to wait for her to get up to speed. We're happy to see that she's come out with the rules or the final rules on Title II, and we understand that the proposed rules for Title III are forthcoming.
And we are starting to see some changes. A few weeks ago, some loosening of the solicitation that allows for accredited investors. What can somebody who's interested in crowdfunding for their business, this is equity-based crowdfunding, what can they expect? I mean, they're looking at this, they're thinking, what are they thinking, and what should the reality be for raising funds for their company through a crowdfunding type model?
Well, I think there's two different types of people that are looking at this as an opportunity for them to get money. I think there's your Main Street businesses that have been hit really hard by the cutting in the lending from the banks, and they're looking at this saying, okay, the banks aren't giving me any money, can I use my customers as a mechanism now to borrow from them to expand my operations? So those type of opportunities where you've got customers and you've got cash flow, they're going to be really good for debt crowdfunding. Then you've got your Silicon Valley startups that try and go into the VCs or the angels. You know, they give to less than 1% of the people that walk in their door. It's not that they might not have a bad idea, but they don't necessarily live here in Silicon Valley. This is an opportunity for them to engage people that believe in what they're doing and say, listen, if you like my idea, help me build the prototype or help me get it to the next level and be an equity backer in this. And so we live in this collaborative community now. It's not just, you know, Wikipedia where we're collaborating on. Now we're moving to the world of social finance. And so now we can use our peers actually to raise money from them too for our ideas. And we don't have to be in Silicon Valley anymore for it.
Crowdfunding Capital Advisors, what role do they play in this emerging ecosystem of crowdfunding, equity-based crowdfunding?
We are trying to help governments globally, those are mainly our clients, understand how to use crowdfunding to build an ecosystem that enables entrepreneurship, spurs innovation, and at the end of the day creates jobs.
And that's really what it is. This whole crowdfunding thing is looking at, because you hear a lot about the impact it's having on the small business. Well, what kind of expectations do we have over the next year or two as crowdfunding becomes more open and we start to embrace the loosening of the regulations so that we can do this? What kind of things should we be seeing?
Well, if you look at it from pie charts, which I like to look at things from, I'm a very data-driven individual, I think it's obvious the impact that this can have. The private capital markets provide less than 10% of the capital to startups and small businesses. Very small amount. The capital markets are incredibly huge, but those startups and small businesses in the United States can provide up to 65% of the jobs. So when you're looking at one pie chart, which is 65% of the jobs, if you're looking at the other pie chart, which is less than 10% of the capital, we keep on saying, just move that 10%, 1%, and see what happens on this pie chart over here. The impact that this can have just on job creation and the innovation is going to be huge, because it's not that we have a lack of innovation in the United States or globally, it's the lack of productivity of innovation. And that productivity comes down to capital. Where people don't have capital to innovate, they cannot create these businesses.
Excellent. Sherwood, thank you very much for taking a few minutes with us.
Thank you very much. It was great.
This has been Crowdfund Beat here in Berkeley at the Crowdfund Symposium, and I've been meeting with Sherwood Neiss with Crowdfunding Capital Advisors.